My client asked me to design their entire website in just 2 days, and for some reason, I said yes. Just me, my laptop, and a lot of coffee. Stay tuned to see if I was able to complete this website in 2 days. Was I able to put it all together? Did I finish it in time? Well, let's find out. Okay, so just like it sounds, my client reached out to me and asked if I could create their website in 2 days. Luckily, I've worked with this client before, and all we're going to be doing is taking their website and basically redesigning the whole thing. But first, let's talk about who this client is. They are a dental office or a dental studio. They do lots of veneers, cosmetic dental work, as well as general dentistry. And they want to redesign their website because they are opening a new location in Beverly Hills. Right now, their location is in Atlanta, Georgia, but they want to make the website feel a little more luxurious. They want it to feel cleaner. And to be honest, the old website I did for them definitely needed some help. They also showed me a few websites they like the look of, and overall, the vibe of those websites are very clean, luxurious, and very minimalistic. Because of that, I said yes to this challenge, and I want to take you guys with me throughout the process and show you if I pulled it off. Okay, but we don't have time to sit and chit chat, so let's get started. Okay, now before I get too far ahead, a lot of you are probably wondering, what does a 2-day turnaround website cost? And I went back and forth on this because you guys know I've done a website in a week, and those alone are a lot more because it's such a quick turnaround. And I wanted to make sure I was charging what it's worth because this is going to take priority in my week, and I already have so much on my plate. So when it came to the pricing, I had to estimate the turnaround time, all the different pages that they have involved, because typically my website cost is determined on the amount of pages I'm creating. I also wanted to take into account the mini branding that I'm doing for this brand, which is the new color palette, the new fonts, and even providing that to them in like a simple brand guide. I'm not doing a logo because they already have a good logo, but I am doing some branding here and there. And I'm also probably going to be managing a lot of pulling in what content and deciding on what content not to use. So when you really think about everything you're doing in a website, it can add up. You can be doing a lot more than you're actually thinking. Now, this client actually emailed me and said, we know this is a quick turnaround. When they first requested this whole website design in 2 days, they were like, we know this is a quick turnaround, so we know that the price is going to reflect that. So in my head, I had the number $7,000, which does sound like a lot. That's typically what my website, my branding and website bundle package costs right now, if not a little bit more. But I decided to send over a quote and proposal for $6,500 because I'm not doing a full website from scratch, meaning I'm having to collect and kind of project manage all the content and also make sure I'm getting all the photos. I already had everything I needed, so I was able to quote it more so as a redesign and taking what they already had. Send over the proposal. They quickly got back to me and asked if we could meet in the middle because they were willing to pay $5,000, but now they're willing to pay $6,000. So that is the number we landed on. I'm always want to be 100% transparent with you guys that is what this project costs. And I was really happy about it because 2 days, $6,000 in 2 days is honestly pretty crazy. And even though there's lots of web designers that might charge more, I knew that I could make this happen, make it work. And for that amount of money, I felt very comfortable doing that. Okay, so part one of redesigning their website is to create the overall visual plan. Because they're going for a more luxurious vibe and they want it to be clean, I need to create a new color palette, new fonts. I also want to make sure that the imagery is going towards the direction they want. Also, if you're wondering where I'm actually in my garage. I'm going to do a little walking and working on my treadmill. This is what my setup is looking like. I definitely need to get some steps in. So we are multitasking at our finest. Okay, so you guys know that I love to use Figma and FigJam for creating my overall branding styles. I'm going to be creating a really, really simple FigJam just for myself really to check back on and make sure that I like the colors, the vibe we're going for. So I'm going to create a new FigJam board. and I'm going to title it the name of this brand. Okay, so I think that the vibe they want to go for, honestly, is pretty black and white, but I want to have like a pop of color, even if it's just one color. I think that'll really bring some attention to the call to actions. I also want to make sure that the colors are now fitting with their new brand photography, which is another thing that they really wanted me to pay attention to. So first, let's bring in their new brand photos, because I think that's going to help us a lot. And I think this is going to help us too, because as you can see, there's that kind of like earthy red color in there. And I think we can definitely use that to create the color palette. And I think I really need to stress it to them that they have to update their WordPress website, because a lot of clients think you can just launch the site and kind of be done with it. But when it comes to WordPress, you have to make sure that you're doing those updates, or there could be some loading issues or a plugin could break. So I really need to make sure that that's clear to them. So I'm going to play around with the mood board a little bit, add some colors. Like I said, I think I'm going to do black, white, and maybe a pop of color, play around with some fonts, and I'll show you guys the final result of the mood board. Okay, instead of sending the branding and everything to get client approval, I just started on the homepage design so they can see how the colors will work with the website. I was able to design the homepage in less than hour and a half it took me. And that was because they were so clear on what they're looking for, the inspiration site they really like the look of, and because they already have an existing site, I was able to just pull content from that and really work with that. So didn't take me too long. We'll see what the client says. I'm pretty much done for the day though. I'm going to utilize a lot of tomorrow to design the rest of the website, but I need approval on that homepage before I move forward, because if they hate the homepage, then I would be wasting so much time if I just continued to design with that same style. So I'm going to wait on approval. We'll do the interior pages tomorrow, and then we will hopefully get the approval to develop and launch. And I feel like they are, although they said 2 days, I feel like they are a little bit flexible on if we have to launch on that third day. So we'll see what they say, but stay tuned to see if I can finish it all tomorrow and what that will look like. Okay guys, it is day 2 of creating that website. I woke up early this morning at like 6:30, went to the gym, got a good workout in because I know it's gonna be a busy day. So I'm gonna rinse off real quick, get ready for the day, and I'll show you guys where we're at with the website, what they said about the homepage, and we'll get it ready for launch. But yeah, I really am glad I woke up early, because if I didn't, I would feel really stressed. I also might be driving home later tonight because my sister is going to the hospital for the baby. So I really want to get some stuff done this morning so I can head home later and be there for her. Just made a little coffee, but let's take a quick shower and get to work. Alright guys, I sent the homepage over last night like I told you, and they got back to me and said they love it. The only change they had was to the red color. We wanted it to look a little bit more earthy, so this is what we landed on. I'm really excited and happy about it. I think the website's coming together so nicely. But basically what I need to work on now is just starting to develop it on WordPress. I told you guys that I don't really want to sit here and design the entire thing on Figma. Typically I would, but because this is a quick turnaround, I just wanted to get an idea if I'm on the right path and then just start to build it. So we're using WordPress. I'm actually going to build it on a temporary domain on WordPress, and then when they're ready to launch, I'm just going to transfer it over to their account. So that's the plan. I just need to be careful when I transfer it because they have SEO going on their account. I want to make sure that we maintain that and that nothing gets too strayed away from it. But the timer for today starts now, and I want to show you guys if I'm able to get this done in 2 days. So let's get to it. Okay guys, I want to show you how I'm going to set up the WordPress account using a temporary domain so I can start to build everything. So I'm going to go to websites. As you can see, I have quite a few in here. I usually do the temporary domain method before launching just to make sure everything looks good instead of actually editing the live site. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to new website. Then I'm going to say temporary domain here, continue, start new website. I'm using SiteGround. I use SiteGround a lot. It's really easy to use and has most of what I need. And also it's what I've been using on my own personal WordPress site. So I just like to use it because I'm able to have unlimited websites on here. I'm going to say start new website, and we are going to say, let me make myself smaller. We're going to say WordPress. And then right here, we'll just create our login, continue. And then I don't usually need any of these. So I'm just saying no, thank you, close, finish. And it'll take a minute. But once that's all uploaded, then we'll go into the WordPress admin, we'll add our Divi account, and then we'll be able to start adding the branding and start to develop it. So this is how I set up my clients' accounts. And then once we're ready to transfer, it's super easy when you use Divi because you can either just import and export each page using Divi, or you can use all-in-one migration if we want to do it that way. There's multiple ways to do it. So I'll definitely try to record that part of the process, but I first need to get approval from the client before we officially launch. So I'll come back when this is done installing and give you guys a little update. It finished installing. So from here, we would just go to log into admin, and sometimes I have to go back and just go to like site tools if it didn't log me in right away. And once we're there, we can go to WordPress, install and manage, and you can also just click here to log in. I'm going to exit the wizard. I don't need to know any of that. And then we would just go to appearance, themes, and install Divi, which is the visual builder tool that I like to use for all my WordPress websites. So I would just install Divi here and start to develop the site. So let's get started. I think I'm also going to first go into my theme customizer. All right, but I'm going to get started on developing the site. I'll give you guys some updates, and the client is so happy though. I was excited to see that we only had a few changes on the homepage because I feel like they have full trust in what I'm going to do for the other pages. So let's get started and get to developing. Alright guys, I feel pretty good about where I'm at with the website. I created pretty much all the pages. I did send over, I've been kind of communicating with the client over text because they were slow with their emails, and I'm like, if you guys need this fast, I need quick responses. So we moved over to text and they've been super responsive, which is great. But I'm very excited with how it's looking. I just wanted to add some like animation to the site, so I thought I would share with you guys how I'm going to be doing that. So let me just start sharing my screen. I'll share with you guys where we're at with the website, how it's looking, how it's coming along, and yeah, pretty excited about it. Okay, so here's how it's looking. One of the edits was that he texted me was to change this video so it swipes between Atlanta and Beverly Hills. I found this video, it's a stock video on Pexels for free, and I just edited it in Canva and just uploaded it over here. So that's looking good. I also added a gradient to this so that you can read the text a little bit better, which I'll show you what that looks like. So if I click in here and go to background, we have the background video. Actually, I think I added that gradient in Canva, like on top of the video, just so it's like easier to see. And yeah, so for this one, I clicked on the row and I added an animation. Or no, wait, sorry. I did it for the text. If I go to design animation, I thought I did. Maybe I did it for these. Yeah, I have like a fade in effect for these ones, which I think looks nice. And then let me see what I did for this, and we can apply it to the other pages. This was a slide effect from the right. So I did all the animations on this page. I'll show you what it looks like. I was also able to do that like hover effect on these photos, which I think came out pretty cool. Yeah, so it fades in, slides in. And then we have these. Yeah, that looks really cool. Awesome. So I'm going to go to About. I want this. I like the little lines I did on the About page. I'm actually waiting for the logins for their Instagram accounts so I can connect the feed on here, because I think that'll like look really cool and break up the page if it has each Instagram feed, like a row of it for each of the doctors. So I like the effects on there. I think for services, I did the same slide in effect. Yeah, that's looking really, really nice. Awesome. Offices. So actually I want more of like a space in between these. So let me go to my visual builder. I'm just kind of tweaking now. We're just like revising it, making sure it's good before I send over another update. There we go. Save, exit visual builder, outreach. So this page, I didn't know what else to put on here because this is what I pulled from the previous site. I think this looks fine, but yeah, I think that's good. And then for gallery, this was an easy page because I just literally used a simple gallery element. You can kind of click through, and then it also has like a load more button at the bottom. So yeah, I think that looks really good. Shop, that will link out to the Shopify, and then this also links. So I feel really good. Like I said, it was a very simple website, so it wasn't like that hard to just create, and they are so easy. Like they just pretty much were happy with whatever my suggestions were, which makes it so much easier to do. But I am going to just double check the buttons, make sure they're all linked to the right place, and then we'll send it over to my client for that like final approval. I'm running into an issue right now though, because I tried to log into the old hosting account that I helped them set up in the past, and they have the login, so I don't have the login information, and it looks like the old website is actually down. So I don't know if maybe their subscription expired to SiteGround or whatever happened, but I just asked them if they can give me the login for that so I can log in and start to prepare it for transfer. But that's like a little hiccup I'm seeing, because if they don't have the login for SiteGround, I don't know what we're gonna do, because I don't have the login for the domain either. So I'm gonna have to have either one for us to like officially launch. But we'll see what they say. I'm just gonna like finalize working on the site a little bit more. I also need to check the mobile site to make sure that looks good, which I'm gonna do that. But that's where we're at. I feel really good, and it's only 3 o'clock right now, so I still have a lot of my day left to make sure that we're ready to launch. So I will give you guys a little update in a little bit whenever I hear back from them. But yeah, so far so good. All right everyone, after 2 full days of working, the website is officially fully built out, ready to go live, but the only thing that we're waiting on is my client's final approval. I mean, they approved the whole design, but the only thing that we're waiting on is the login information for their Instagram so I can add the feeds, and then also just waiting on some links, more links to add to the outreach page. But sounds like they want to go live. Even though they said they wanted it in 2 days, it sounds like they're mainly just wanted it completely done and ready to go within 2 days, but they're okay with launching next week, so, or even end of this week. So yeah, even though I rushed it, we're pretty much ready to go live, and I'm really excited with how it turned out. To use like buttons, I used Divi Pixel, which is like a plugin that you can add onto your existing Divi website. This came out so good. I'm actually really excited to add it to my portfolio. Anything else to show for dental type of clients, because I do enjoy working with this tree. So nice. I wait for that final approval to go live. When I do go live though, I plan to export per page to maintain the SEO on their existing website. I'm just going to import the design that way, and we're just going to kind of have to do it manually because I don't want them to lose their authority on Google. So what I'll be doing is going to the pages and go to edit and visual theme options and change all the branding of the site, but I might just save the layout and then in those saved layouts in there. So yeah, I go to the board, Divi theme, Divi library in here, so that makes it easy. But that's my plan. I think that's what I'm going to be doing. I do have the WP all-in-one migration plugin, which looks like this, just so I can make sure everything gets transferred over. But I just want to make sure I'm taking the meta titles and descriptions from their existing website and also keeping the same permalinks, like maintaining that, or else it could affect the SEO. But this is another plugin I use often for this type of thing. But I mainly just wanted to be able to complete the site in 2 days. I feel like right now it's just the clients waiting on the client and give me the go ahead to transfer it over. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you want to see more in-depth tutorials on like how I transfer a website, how I really create that, more detailed information on that, be sure to check out my Patreon. I always have it linked down below with a special discount code for all of my YouTube subscribers. So check that out if you want to learn more about this. But overall, I hope you enjoyed this video, watching me do this kind of challenge, and let me know if you did by giving it a thumbs up, subscribing down below, and I'll talk to you guys in my next one.